What is up, guys and girls? Hurricane Liz here, and in this video I'm going to go over how much profit each of the stores that I have running Amazon FBA Wholesale are doing. So it's going to be short, it's going to be sweet, but it's going to get straight to the point. It's going to show you how a brand new store grows from making nothing to making something per month, and then it's also going to show you how much an aged store makes, and we're talking a store that's over a year old. So I think you're going to find a lot of insight on this. I think you're going to get a lot of inspiration, and I think you're going to be fired up. So I'm certainly fired up. I hope you are. Let's do this. Okay, so here we are on the brand new store, and you're gonna see that it's been business as usual. Now, the sales did slow down on this, and that is for one big reason. Some of the products ran out of inventory, and if you remember in the last video, I discussed this problem. It's a huge problem that if you allow this to happen on your new store, then it can slow down for a little bit, but it should pick up again. Just remember that you almost always want to stay in inventory, and you want to try and manage that to the best of your abilities. Now, there can be a lot of different circumstances why on one of these automation stores that doesn't happen. It could just be an invoice gets paid late, there's a delay in shipping. Any one of those things could cause the store to kind of lose some of its steam, particularly when it just recently has a small basket of products. And I just want to remind you guys that if you want to talk about doing this for yourself or having someone do it for you, my email is below in the description. I can help you with either one of those. But I wanted to also remind you that the most important thing about this store is we started completely from scratch. So it's only a couple months old, and the store had to get ungated in grocery. It was brand spanking new, and we also had to age some things. So the goal in the first phase is to get a basket of a couple products that are selling really well. We've done that, so now what we're doing is we're trying to expand on that product line and trying to add more and more SKUs so that it's sort of rinse repeat on the amount of profit it makes. So if we take a look at here, it's getting about anywhere between 2 and 10 sales a day. And the profit margins on average, on some of these they've gone down, and usually that will happen. And let me discuss why that happens. That primarily happens because as more and more sellers discover these products that are being sold, then the amount of sellers goes up and the product price also comes down some. So what will typically happen is when a lot of sellers do get on a listing and the price goes down, they will drive the price down to where it's still profitable, but you're just not making a lot of margins. And that's exactly what's happening here. You can see the profit margins are anywhere between 5% all the way up to 22% lately. Here's one that's 26%. The ROI is still great, and there's still a decent amount of profit. But what just happens on this is that a lot of sellers have come on, so the profit has gone down. But what happens over time as less and less of this product becomes available is the number of sellers come down and the price and the profit goes up. So that's what will eventually happen. So in the meantime, we're just going to hang in there, continue selling what we're selling it for. It's still selling, although it's not selling too much, and that's primarily because we just haven't lowered the price as other sellers have. So there comes a point in time where on every single product we do reprice them, but for now we're going to stand strong and we're going to continue to sell these products for what we've been selling at. They're still making a decent amount of profit. However, let's show what happens when you do have a brand new store. Now, this is the second real full month that this store has been selling. The first month was kind of sort of really a wash, because in the first month you're just getting a lot of inventory into Amazon and you're sort of testing the waters. You still don't have any clear-cut products that sell regularly. So the first month is really all about testing. This second full month, which was the month of July, what we're going to see is the numbers for the month of July. And I think you guys are going to be shocked, because we've always been sold on, wow, this drop shipping store is profitable, or this Walmart store is making so much money. But the reality is people don't ever show you the numbers behind the scenes. So I'm about to show you those, and hopefully these enlighten you to realize that we're building a real business, and that takes time. And so I'm also going to show you the expenses that go along with that real business. So we've got the entire month of July. It did over $2,000 in sales on its actual first full month, because June was only a partial month. And you're going to see that the cost of goods is half of that right now, because again, we have a lot of products that we had to lower the price because we're just testing. We don't have a strong basket of more than 6 products that sell very well. On top of that, we've got seller fees, and then we've got fulfillment fees. And all in all, it wound up being only $140 in profit. And I know that doesn't sound like a heck of a lot. That sounds like it's kind of terrible. But the reality is that we had to buy so many products to test them out to see if they'd work, that a lot of them will not work. Now, that doesn't mean that they won't work on other stores. One of the things that has been happening on Amazon lately is that the algorithm will randomly assign different stores the ability to sell certain products well. So just because this store sells the products that I'm showing you well, that doesn't necessarily mean that your store will do so. Some of the products that are complete duds on this store could sell very well on your store. And that's just because the algorithm grows a certain affinity with each individual store, and it almost assigns them products to sell well. So different stores will sell different products very well, and it also depends on the age of the particular store, as well as the experience of the seller and how quickly they lower their price and things of that nature. So all in all, still $140 considering we shipped in a lot of products, so that equals out to a lot of shipping fees. And a lot of the products that we initially send in, we're now selling off at a break-even point, which is fine because now that allows us to send in more test merchandise and eventually get more and more products that sell well and give us those margins and are selling on a regular basis. So everything looks good. It's just going to be a slow and steady build to about the 6-month to 7-month mark, and then the 1-year mark and beyond. And now I'm about to show you a store that has been running for over a year and show you what the numbers look like on that store. And what you'll see is this store has hit what I like to call the snowball effect, which is the longer you do this and the bigger your basket of products that grow, particularly profitable ones that you've tested and just stood the test of time, you're going to hit a snowball effect where the amount of money you make is pretty tremendous and it's pretty exciting. However, that doesn't happen immediately overnight. Any type of business, no matter what it is going to have expenses that if someone's trying to make it look really sexy, they can make it look real sexy. But the reality is, until you see all the expenses that they're having to take care of, you really don't know the entire picture. Okay, so now we're going to take a look at the other store that we've got, which is about a year old, a little bit over a year old, possibly even closer to a year and a half. I really have to check on the age of it. I think it might be like 1 year and 3 months, something to that degree. But here's the thing about this store. This store is still a great store. It was created after 2016, which means it doesn't get a lot of the benefits that stores created prior to 2016 get, which is unfortunate, but still take a look at the numbers on this one. I think the last time we showed it, it might have gotten like 5,800 in total sales. Right now the sales is 5,606. After refunds and things of that nature, it's now 48,8007. Cost of goods, does not include cost of goods on here. So cost of goods are usually about 1/3 of this, a little over 1/3, like maybe 35%. And here's the rest of the fees. We got transaction fees of 100, referral fees of 800, fulfillment fees of 1,000, and a bunch of other things. But all in all, after everything's said and done, it made about 2,900, and now about 30% of the 5,000. That's about 1,500. Will go towards, maybe more like 1,700, will go towards the cost of goods. So all in all, about $1,200 to $1,300 in total profit after everything's said and done, which is not bad considering, like I said, it's about a 1 year, 3-month old store, and it started off with the very same principles that the new store started. But I just wanted to show you guys the contrast of what happens and how this business at some point hits that snowball point where it just starts to snowball, and the amount of profit made is pretty tremendous. $1,200 to $1,500 in profit in a single day. That's certainly nothing to scoff at, particularly if this thing has already started to snowball. On the front end, you have to keep buying products in order to find the products that work with the store. And eventually you hit the point, like I said, where this one has, where it snowballs. So all in all, not too bad considering it's only slightly over a year old. So again, if you want to talk more about how to create one of these stores on your own or have me create one, my email is below. So send me an email. I'll be more than happy to jump on the phone with you. Until then, questions and comments below. I always personally answer those, and I'll see you guys next time.